going live again now. Right, we're live. All I've done is just gone onto a different stream, but there's no one there yet. One person. Right, those of you who have made it back, I can see there's one. But what happens, do you know while I'm doing this, do you know what happens? It videos it. It puts it up onto YouTube. So sometimes on a Sunday when I'm doing it, you can have 250 people watching it. It loads and the whole hour show goes up. And then what happens? It stays up forever. So loads of people come in during the day or later on that night or catch up another time. Yeah, look. Well done, everyone's worked it out. So we're back live from Cole's Corner. We're in Sheffield. And there was a shout from the crowd. You haven't come up from here yet? I was thinking, yeah, because we've been here and it's been really nice. You know, this is Cole's Corner. It's in Abbeydale Road in Sheffield. 7. Is it 7 or 6? 7, yeah. It's I had some dal, big pot of dal with some crispy bread. It's been raining today. Is it raining with you? Okay, we were talking about this and we're going to wrap it up though. How long have we got left? I said an hour. So, it should be on my... What time is it? 12 minutes to. We've got 12 minutes left. Should we ask, hold on a minute. If I get my glasses out. See, people in here can ask questions.
Yeah. Time to go.
I could do it. I could do it if I had my glasses. Right, let me try and... No, it ain't happening. Right, we're going to ask... Has anyone in here got any questions?
Yeah.
Go on in, Johnny.
So I know you were against Brexit anyway.
Yeah.
Where we are now, is that better or worse than what you imagined?
I think it's a lot worse than what I imagined. I actually thought, fucking hell. But it's just... You can see. Everyone can see. It's shit. Do you know, it's really horrible. They're making jokes in Germany. Every day in the cartoons, it's like joking about Britain and about not having any petrol in Holland, in Denmark. They're making it's a shambles. But it's not just a shambles with Europe, it's a shambles with America. Joe Biden hates him. So if you don't know the history between Joe Biden and Boris Johnson, but they didn't even explain on the fucking news. They're going, oh, he's met Joe. Yeah, but explain some background. Contextualise his relationship with Joe. So while Joe, who is the right-hand man, he's number one buddy, Barack Obama. When Barack Obama was president, Joe was the vice president. He put the thing around, he made him. He put the Congressional Medal of Honor on Joe Biden. Boris Johnson, he hated Barack Obama. Did he say to him that, it's his because he's part Kenyan, he doesn't like Britain? Did he say that, Boris Johnson? He's a fucking nuisance, mate. You know, he said he's coming over here because Barack Obama said, if you do the Brexit, you're going to be at the back of the queue. Famously. Absolutely famously. Now, Boris Johnson, who was talking about, is now the Prime Minister of Britain. So when Boris and Joe met, it was not... I watched it. I didn't hear them. He don't like him. He don't like him. Joe says... He said, yeah, they asked Boris something about the thing, when Joe Biden said, yeah, well, we're going to have to talk about that a lot later. And they was going, I swear to God, and he said, you go and look, this is God's honest truth. Go and look on the day when Joe Biden said to Boris Johnson, we're going to have to look at that a lot later. The newspaper, the Daily Express, headline was, and it was mega, we're going to get a mega. How do you work it out? No one's explaining the context of who Joe Biden is and his relationship with Boris Johnson. I think, didn't Gary Gibbon on Channel 4, he was the only fella, and that was like, went fucking on the Twitter. Gary Gibbon said, like, but you don't like, they don't like you. They don't like you, Boris. They really don't like him. And it's like extraordinary that that's not explained. So we're fucked. Because when Barack Obama said, you're going to be in the back of the queue, we're going to do the fucking Brexit. Back of the queue. And we're back of the queue. You know, and it's like, well, we haven't got Europe, we haven't got America. And it's like they're just going around. What are they going to do? How are they going to fix that? Has impact on everybody. Like whether it's petrol, whether it's care workers, whether it's like fucking... They taking £20 off of people in the pandemic. Any more questions? Sorry, I'll start talking again.
I've got a question.
Okay.
So they've reduced fund. You know, you had a great opportunity at going to art college.
Yeah.
But they've reduced the funding now by 50% for art college, because obviously the Conservative government doesn't really support state.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Funding?
Yeah, I know that. I think. I mean, it's the whole university system now. The financial model around the university system is about making like money through not just fees but also halls and accommodation. So like if you look at Goldsmiths, like you go to New Cross, a big college, but they buy everything, every building, everything, every house, every block, they buy everything. So the premise is New Cross is like 20 minutes to Big Ben, so it's quite central. So like big property prices, you know, millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. So they buy the property, the students pay. They're just like landlords. Unis like landlords. So that's all they're thinking about is the money. And like we saw last year in Manchester, like where those kids, there was like 9 kids. They went out and they started at the beginning of the pandemic, and they were locked in. They weren't allowed out. They put guards. They weren't had any teaching, and they crept out and they took a building and they held the building for like a few weeks, and they won. Like they occupied a building, 9 of them, for like 3-4 weeks. I think they won £18 million. They got a rebate for every student in Manchester, you know. And it should have been right at that point. Why just Manchester? Yeah, they did really horrific things up there with fences and that, but why just Manchester? Every student in the fucking country should be getting a rebate, but they rely on it. They changed the student debt thing this week as well to like go down to lower because they want to hit the low. Do you know what I mean? It was a really, really extraordinary way to tell everybody wages are fucking really shit. Yeah, because they're saying wages are going up. They said, well, why have you dropped the student loan thing then? That they're actually saying wages down the bottom are actually dropping. You know, I can't see like how universities survive other than like, you know, universities. Camberwell, like the old guy who was Anthony Ayton, 98 years old. My friend lives in Brixton, and he went to Camberwell. There was only like 30 people in Camberwell, and guy like doing art in this massive college. Everyone had a big room. Do you know what I mean? And you went in every day. Tutors were in every day. All you did was paint. You barely wrote. The head of the department had one secretary. That was it. That was all the admin. That was the entire admin. Now, if you go to like some colleges, they got a fucking tower block. Every floor is a different like admin, recruitment, fucking overseas, like all sorts of different fucking levels, hundreds, thousands attached to universities. And it's all about like making money. It's all like financial model, and it's really sad. And yeah, it's like because there's other economies. If you want to talk about art and economies in art, I so love it when someone buys a watercolor. It's fucking amazing. It's such a nice feeling because someone really liked that, or yeah, you feel good, and it makes you feel good because you want to paint good paintings, and then you paint a good one, you go, that's fucking good, I like that one. Or someone that you know, then that you think like you really like, they're in the art world or something like that, and they buy like one of your paintings and they send you a message, I really like that. So that's an economy, you know, like on the internet when you get likes and things like that, that's like kind of an economy. Well, in the art world, which preceded that, there's this economy of spirit, and what it is, it's about, and I would say this generally about most art, is like, it's a generalization, and basically what I'm saying is that, you know, people just want someone to like their work. People appreciate it. People, like when they're making art, creative people, whether they're singing, writing poems, you know, they want to share the experience, and they want that to come back as well. So it's amazing talking about art. It's amazing like doing like an exchange, and it's like, oh yeah, I went into this place. It was up in Crystal Palace, and they had lots of like framed like prints and things like that. There was loads on the wall, and they, like some of them, I quite like some of them. And I went in there, and they're like fucking £500, £900, like 375. I was going, oh, it's really nice in here. And I was looking around, and I said, I do paintings as well. And I was like showing the lady, because I talk to lots of people. If I see someone, then I get a chance. And I was showing her on the phone. I was going, yeah, look, I did that one. I did that one. So I like that. That's really nice, like that. And I said, yeah, these are all these. That's. And she said, wow, how much do you sell those for? And I said, 20. Like they were the little ones, 20 quid. It's like 20 quid. She said, I couldn't put your work in here. I couldn't put that on the wall for 20 quid. So the other artists will start freaking out. Because it's really weird, isn't it? Because, like, there's that thing about, like, just wanting to, like, people to like it, but also appreciating that, like, you know, people like art. And people want to buy it. They can't fucking pay $375 for a print. That's fucking a lot. You know, that's like fucking... You know, yeah, it's nice. That spirit is one of the things that sort of like. So when you paint, so you're doing the like mad stuff with all the politics in the car and that. But when you're painting and that, that's your sort of like, that's your meditation. That's your sort of like leveling out. Yeah. Anyone got any more questions? We're nearly at the end here.
I've got another one.
Oh yeah, one more.
Were you inspired by Keir Starmer's speech?
No. Someone in the room in Cole's Corner has asked, was I inspired by Keir Starmer's speech? And do you know what? Like, seriously, when it comes to it, if there's a general election, it won't even matter. And they know what everyone says. If you want to get rid of the Tories, you can only vote Labour. Even if you think fucking... what are you going to do? Not vote? Come on, I was doing that for years and years. I didn't want Keir Starmer to be leader. I never voted for him to be leader. Not even in the Labour Party. But if it came to an election, but did his speech inspire me? No, because he's got no. They, you know, they really fucking, you know, they're not nice, and it's one of the things that like really hurts the most. It's not that they're just not nice. It's that you know they. Yeah, but then you can't trust them, Gary. You can't. You can't trust. You just literally can't trust them. You know, that's why when they said like with Tony Blair, and then like yeah, things can only get better, and he like fucking bombed the fuck out of Iraq for like a decade. You know, it's really like they're not. I don't think any of them tells the truth, but serious people. Some people are so in trouble with Tories in power. Because you can't, it's sewn up as well, isn't it? The whole of the fucking clique.
How can we move away from
I know, how can you, like, at the moment it seems really pessimistic, doesn't it? But if you look around at, like, fucking,
It's a Shrieger Laura thing.
Yeah, but if you know, if you live in a country, and unfortunately we do, that people, you know, they're gone 8 points clear, the Tories, even when the whole country is falling to pieces. It almost seems sort of like insurmountable. It almost seems impossible that. But you know, the thing is
If
you.
you made it the law, though, right? If you made it law, everybody had to vote. I
Yeah.
don't think we'd get in.
Who, the Tories?
No.
Yeah.
If everybody, 100% turnout,
Yeah.
I don't think we'd get in.
Yeah, you could be right, because you can actually see that sort of like all the other parties put together, they're more, aren't they? Because they're only 40%.
Poor people can't vote to vote.
Yeah. Yeah, because they just see the same. They yeah. But it is that pessimism, isn't it? So like there was sort of like periods over the last few years where it really seemed like politics was rocking, and you was thinking we're fucking. But it's just sort of like almost now we have the worst government, not just at the worst possible time, but probably the worst government sort of like in the last in our that we can remember, that we know. You know, even possibly worse than Thatcher. You know, really appalling. Yeah, we're in Sheffield, you can't get worse than her. Fucking hell. Good point. Yeah. But he's really mad, because I was explaining to my friend as well that like he doesn't care, does he? And it's not like he's not any Teflon. So his girlfriend Jennifer Arcuri, his mistress, he had a mistress, didn't he? Jennifer Arcuri, and she wrote the thing in the Sunday papers. Did you read her? Obviously, like, do you know what she wrote? She said that she was in Boris Johnson's she was in Boris Johnson's family home, where his wife, who had the cancer, and like with the children, Jennifer Arcuri was with him in the family home, and he was naked. Boris Johnson was naked on the sofa, and he had 2 yellow cushions, and he shouted to her, "Look at me, naked. Look at me, I'm a custard cream." Yeah. I know, but it's like, I don't know what to say anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, how can that happen to any sort of like person in high political office? Michael Gove, they're going to be outraged. He's out raving this, because they've got their thing in Manchester, isn't he? He's promised to go raving.
When they went to school, they got bullied.
Yeah.
So, they're getting their own back now.
Do you know a lot of them, Gary? Seriously, right? Not the Tories, the Conservatives. They don't even like their kids. You know, they send them out into like the fucking boarding school and get them nannies. They don't even see them, Gary. They put them away. Lucky if they see them on holiday. Yeah, they hate their own kids. Imagine what they think about you and your kids.
They care about their own then, and that's it. They don't care about nobody else.
Care about themselves, a lot of them.
That's it.
I know.
That's it.
But I think also, do you think people see that as well? Do you think that they see, like, Boris Johnson, he's got like £1,000 a roll wallpaper. Do you see that? He had to get that, he got some like crazy like redecoration. He can't, do you know, I think Boris Johnson's, he hasn't got a pot to piss in. Apparently he gets 300 grand a year, and it all goes out in like fucking childcare and alimony. He hasn't got no money. Seriously, even though everything's free, all the money goes. He's got no money. He hasn't got a pot to piss in. He goes out begging. He's begging the Tory donors at the balls. And he got £1,000 a roll wallpaper. That is a fucking lot of money for a roll of wallpaper. You think 50 is a lot, or 70? It's fucking £1,000 a roll wallpaper. And they're cutting £20 off of people. They've got no idea. They really don't understand. And they're saying it's not a cut. And they're putting up all the national insurance, which hits the poorest people, the council tax, which hits the poorest people. They always tax the poorest. That's why the same with like refugees and people in the sea. Do you know what I mean? That's the same with them. If anyone else was in the sea screaming for help, fall off like a cruise or like fall off like a fucking like pleasure boat, anyone else was in the sea, they'd be out to fucking help. If anyone calls for help, the only thing is, not if you're poor, not if you're like a migrant, not if you're an immigrant. There's no. They don't want to help you. They really don't. Everything's geared up to take the money away, isn't it? So like all of the, I was watching a film, The Maid. No, it's on like Netflix or something like that. And she's out. She has to go work, but she has to pay for her own cleaning product. She has to pay to get there, and she got $37, but then it went down to $12 because she had to pay like for other things. Yeah, it seems really mad. I remember being in America and like the guy saying to me, the security guard saying to me, chatting and about politics, and he said to me, his asthma inhaler's costing $300 or $600 like dollars a month. So it was like a quarter of his wages. He had to like buy like because in America you got to pay for like. And we just like we're getting to the point where we you know, most people, a lot of people now, if they get in trouble, they have to go private now. You know, if they can afford it. So like that's going to be happening here as well, and like all the fucking anyway. So we're here at Cole's Corner. We're going to be wrapping up any minute now. It's been wonderful. We're going to be back here tomorrow between 11 and 12. I'll bring my glasses so I can read the questions. I have got them here. I just forgot where they are. Not my sunglasses, my reading glasses. Because it's really tiny. You know, this has been live streamed on a tiny phone. Yeah, but like, thanks for everyone who joined, who came along. And thank you to Nicole from Nicole's Corner for hosting us this evening. We'll wrap it up. Thank you.